I was listening to Sean this weekend, and the interview that he did, and the interview that he did is something that I thought about, but I never thought about to the detail that this interview had brought forth, and that's the reason why it's important for us to listen to people who are intelligent and who are informed and who understand and know what's going on, and they're trying to sound alarm. They're trying their best to do their part to wake up the people. But the valid point, or the thrust, or let's say the body of this interview had to do with the erosion of the American people's savings. I mean, I don't think that the American people understand exactly what's going on. We understand that we are in an economic crisis, yet and still. Have you noticed how that during this crisis with this fiat currency, that these rich people have literally enriched themselves? More millionaires have been made because of this economic collapse or this crisis that is going on right now than in the history of man. At the same time, we're suffering an economic depression, just that people don't want to call it that. But yet and still 40% of the Americans' people's savings have been eroded through inflation, high prices of commodities, and of course the printing of money into oblivion. And the thought was brought up, how much more are the American people going to take? I mean, we seen the Occupy Wall Street movement. We saw that, and of course now it's been diffused. We see that this government that we all find ourselves a part of has no intentions whatsoever at all. They are letting us know that this country is not functioning under the Constitution. They only use the Constitution, the politicians does, to stage play and grandstand to make the people, or put the people under an illusion that we're still are going to abide by those documents. But we have not lived by those documents, nor have we abided by those documents for some time, because the politicians have enriched themselves to the highest bidder. And you have to understand that when the politicians, if they receive an annual salary, which they give themselves pay raises all the time, but if they receive an annual salary of maybe $150,000, $1,000 a year, and I want you to hear me out very clearly, what's $150,000 a year compared to the corporations that will, through campaign contributions, line their pockets with over, who knows, 500,000, a million, 2 million, 3 million, just to get a law or bill passed that will help the corporation to function better. See, a lot of people don't understand that America is a corporation. It's not a country. And I understand that you have country embedded into your mind because that's the way they trained you to believe. And I'll tell you, I'm a man that loves the truth. I search the truth. I do my due diligence. And it's very painful. It is very painful. As a matter of fact, the truth is very brutal when you have lived under an illusion all this time, thinking that you are living the truth, only come to find out that you've been deceived. And the deception is so great and so painful that when you meet that crossroads right there, you have a decision to make. You can either choose to continue to live in that truth and or live in that deception, and continue to keep living your life and functioning in your life that way for the rest of your life and stay mute and silent. Or either you can shout to the rooftop as you are woke up. You continue to keep trying to warn others of the impending danger that is headed their way if they don't comply to the truth. And whether we like it or not, people on one side attracts to the other. But the things that they continue to keep going the way they're going, in another 4 or 5 years, the people are going to see their wealth eroded to 60, 70, 80%. I mean, will the American people revolt then after they become so poor that their ability to resist is null, nil, and void? As a matter of fact, is the plan to make you so poor that you will willingly go to the FEMA camps? Is the plan so entrenched that you will willingly beg the government for help? I mean, after all, stocks, bonds, mutual funds, IRAs. We can go on and on and on and on and on. Hey, we're not gaining anything. Look at these low interest rates that they keep on saying it's going to be that way until who knows when. Well, I'll tell you what, the American dream is a nightmare, isn't it? And if you don't listen to pastors like me, who's trying to inform you and tell you the direction that you need to be doing, the steps you need to be taking, there's going to be a weeping howl all across this land. It's just going to be too late. I feel sorry for those of you who are living under the assumption that because you're familiar with someone that when crap hits the fan, that you think you can just automatically move on in and just make an association and join yourself to them when you won't do nothing right now. I mean, it's bad the way we function in this life. It really, really, truly is. No, there are those who are very serious about this, and they're making moves right now. I think that personally, that they are just like the proverbial frog in the bucket, that they are slowly but surely, you know, so that the shock factor don't be as bad. They're slowly but surely tearing the American people down and stealing their wealth. That's why I personally believe that the only way your wealth is not going to be stolen from you has got to be intangible assets. And that's just me personally. Hey, you can believe what you want. If you believe that Federal Reserve notes is the way that you should store your wealth, then have at it. Hey, so-called free country, right? It's amazing how we're so-called free and we're regulated half to death, isn't it? But it is remarkable, and it is amazing. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. It is remarkable and amazing at the amount of injustices that we put up with. I mean, do you understand the reason why even though we continue to see all this fraud going on with the politicians and with the banking sector, do you understand the reason why these people don't go to jail? It's because there's no law that condemns them. I mean, we have a law of righteousness in us to tell us, man, this is not morally right whatsoever at all. But because these people don't have any morals, because they are deceivers, and because they are seducers, and because they finagle and haggle their way around this life, I will tell you one thing. The breath one day will go out of this body, and then after that, the judgment, whether you ignore that or not. Regardless, it makes no difference whatsoever at all. But that is one eternal principle that is just not going away. I hope that you people can really, truly hear what I'm saying. You know, one wise man by his wisdom, providing that the people can hear him, apply it to their life, and become doers. He's able to save a whole city just by wisdom. And I'm trying my best to give you wisdom to get you to understand how you need to be functioning right now, so that your descendants coming behind you will have something in the midst of this world of indentured servitude, because that's what we have now. You know, we live under this a banner where we think we're free, but we're indentured servants. And I know you resent that statement. I understand you do. I do too as well. But yet, if you don't understand where you are, what's going on right now, how are you going to know how to function? How are you going to have answers? How are you going to understand what's going on? We live in a system of deception. There's nothing righteous about it whatsoever at all. And you're not going to get justice from a people who are wicked. You're going to continue to keep seeing prices rise. You're going to continue to keep seeing your wealth stolen from you. You're putting more money in the gas tank than y'all on the table now. Isn't that sad? It's a sad reality, and it is the truth. You need to make changes. And the first change you need to make, in order to just have the eyes of discernment so that your mind can begin to comprehend and wake up, you got to come out of all this religious deception. And I mean, if you can't embrace and understand what religious deception is, then there's no way your footprint, your footstep is going to chart your course and then lead and guide you into the right path, so that you'll understand what it means to be preserved. There's no way. There's just no way whatsoever at all. It just cannot be. Because if you're trusting in a ship that is sinking, then ultimately you're just going to go down with the ship.